I can tell you exactly why this is happening to the Jewish people. And I'll tell you who it's because. It's because you chose Barabbas over Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. The Jewish people are cursed. That's why this is happening. Because the Jewish people reject Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior.
Okay. First of all, do you have any evidence for why any of this is true and why any of this matters, or you're just going to hear make claims here?
Pontius Pilate's documents, the Bible.
Wasn't Jesus a Jew?
Jesus was a Jew because of the time. It's what he was born into, but he is the second covenant.
Yeah, but he was a Jew.
But he is the second covenant.
But he was a Jew as well. I'm not talking about the other thing you're saying. He was a Jew.
And you're for the time, yes.
Well, for the entire time that he was alive. Like, I mean, if you're a Jew, you're saying for the time, every Jew that is a Jew, they're Jew for the time that they are in. Like, I haven't seen a Jew that says, like, I'm a Jew for that time, but not for this time. So I don't know when we say for the time, what is that adding? Every Jew.
Judaism was the religion of the time.
I'm not talking about
if he religion. I'm not talking about religion. If the Lord came to earth, he would come back a Jew. Because that's what it was of the time.
You said, yeah, that doesn't add anything to the conversation. Every single person who's a Jew is a Jew of their time. So I don't know how you think you're adding to the conversation. You said Jews are cursed.
The Bible says that the synagogue of Satan is cursed. Why? Because they refuse to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. Okay? Because you took Barabbas, okay? You took Barabbas, and you refused to accept it. That's why you think I'm a troll. That's why you think I'm a troll, because you refuse to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He's not a prophet, bro. He's not. He came here to save you.
I'm an atheist. I don't even believe he was a prophet.
He came here to save your soul.
Do you have any evidence for that?
The Bible says so. He said so. Jesus Christ said so. He came and told me to love you like everybody else, and that's what I'm trying to do, is to tell you what is going wrong.
I don't give a shit about Jesus. He doesn't matter to us. I'm an atheist. And the Bible
he loves you just the same. He's waiting for you to come back. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that he is here and he loves you and he wants you to come back.
Repeating a claim doesn't make it true. This is troll.
It is true. Guys, it is true.
Religious behavior is very similar. So
you're just rejecting it, man. You're just rejecting. That's all.
I am rejecting it. What are you going to do about it? I don't give a shit about it.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible.
I don't give a shit about it.
That's terrible. I'll pray for your soul, man.
Okay, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Go pray. Go pray somewhere else. Stop bothering.
No, bro, you got to give yourself to Jesus, man. You got to give yourself. You got to surrender yourself.
Jesus should come give himself to me. Okay, Jesus should come give him to me.
And I'll tell you right now, it speaks volumes that you have like 140,000 followers on Twitter, and you can only get like so many people show up in. You are getting ratioed to oblivion right now. It is insane how racial you're doing.
First of all, that's not on my Atheist Republic account. 1. So 2, that's not the definition of a ratio. 3, that's a point that somebody would make when they have zero arguments. You have no.
I'm your only speaker in here.
Yeah, that is not relevant to the discussion. You have no points. You have no arguments. You have no logic. You have no evidence. You're full of crap. You're just repeating things and warning people without actually making.
You just said you're an atheist. So how could you believe in the state of Israel? How does that make any sense? Because the state of Israel is supposed. The state of Israel is some mythological state in the Bible.
How is that even relevant? The state of Israel exists. God doesn't exist.
You're an atheist. How can you believe that?
Do you understand you're so stupid that so many people in my YouTube live chat are saying that you're a troll? I mean, you're either a troll or you're so stupid that you're very similar to a troll, because most of the people.
What have I said? What have I said that's untrue then?
Well, you haven't actually provided any arguments for your claims. You're just repeating claims. Do you understand how useless that is?
The Jewish people are cursed because you crucified the Lord.
Okay, I think you're seriously a troll. You must be a troll.
How is he a troll?
Nobody is this stupid.
Bro, it's so true. Oh, go on, bro. Come on, stop playing. Stop playing. You read the Bible before, right? You read the Bible before, right?
Yeah, it's full of shit.
Come on now.
I read it 3 times.
Don't play. Don't play. You and you know.
What?
You know. You know. You already know then.
He's a troll. Let's move on.
Is it a troll? Is he a troll? Is he a troll, or is he speaking the truth? Nobody's rebuking me except you.
Yeah, nobody is that stupid.
Somebody come in here and tell me I'm wrong. Somebody come in here and tell me I'm wrong.
I just told you you're wrong. I just did.
Somebody else come in here and tell me.
I think that guy was a troll. There's no way that anybody is that stupid. I mean, at least other Christians, when they come and make a claim, sometimes they provide an argument for it. This guy is an embarrassment to other Christians. If you're a Christian, was this not an embarrassment to Christians? How's my audio, guys? Is my audio okay on YouTube? All right. Yeah, so hey, some Christians in my YouTube chat are saying that you're an embarrassment to other Christians. Somebody's saying you're an embarrassment to Earth. True. Hey, so other Christians in my chat are hating on you. Whoever you were, I forgot his name. Somebody's saying that was embarrassing to the human brain. Guys, why is that some people think that when they repeat a claim, they have added anything to the discussion? They're like, oh, Jesus is Lord. And I'm like, okay, explain. I'm like, because Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Lord. Like if I say 10 times, it will make it true. Oh, we got some super chats. Let's actually respond to the super chats on YouTube. Yeah, I already responded to it. The link, guys, is working. The link is working. So click on it and try it out. And Sean is saying the last empire to own that land was the British Empire. Yeah, I mean, the British didn't own it. The British were just managing it for a little bit. They were in like, I don't think it ever belonged to the British. They were like, we're just going to fix this quick and get the hell out of here. I think the last empire that actually owned it was the Ottoman Empire. And then we have Delta saying, Armin, that Nazi color convinced me to convert. Yes. I mean, if you say I'm a Christian and Jewish people are cursed, that is the best advertisement. I think that guy was anti-Christian. And he was here to embarrass Christianity. Like, oh, Jesus is Lord and Jews are cursed. That's the best way to embarrass Christians. Jesus, YouTube, by the way, I don't believe Jews are cursed. That was just that one Christian guy. Yeah, he was a Nazi. And Carl is saying, your ex-face sucks. Well, actually, now I think it was kind of fun with this guy coming here. Hey, Carl, I'm just testing. This is a trial and error. Last time we used a link for StreamYard, and that was really good. We had a really good conversation when I posted a link on StreamYard on the YouTube chat. So this time I'm using a Twitter Space link to see how that works. This is my first Twitter Space, so I don't know why you're being so harsh. And then I will try Google Meet as well sometimes to see if Google Meet works. I'm just trying different ways to bring people up. So, given that this is my first Twitter space, I think it's going actually not that badly, because if I could find a way to make Twitter spaces work, then at some point we will be able to cover Twitter and YouTube at the same time. I mean, it's good that when people come here and talk on Twitter spaces being broadcasted on our YouTube channel at the same time. So that's good. And then let me see. Shauna gave us a super chat. Shauna, let me see what Shauna said here. Shauna saying he probably wasn't a troll. He was an embarrassment, but I've met his type. He only reads the King James Bible and knows zero theology. Jesus is a Jew. Yeah, Jesus is a Jew. And again, Shauna, you don't get upset with me when I say anti-Christianity stuff, right? Because Shauna, you're Christian, and I think like the Christians on our YouTube channel have a thick skin. So when I say anti-Christian stuff, they don't get upset. Is that right? Or do I need to be? Do you guys want me to be hold back on my anti-Christian views? So we're saying so. Somebody saying Zionism is anti-Christ. Zionism has nothing to do with Christ. Zionism is just the Israeli people, not even the Jewish people. Zionism is the Israeli people's right to self-determination. That's what it is. You need Jeebus. Islam is comparable to Nazism. I completely disagree with it. Islam is far worse than Nazism. Nazism doesn't even get close to how bad Islam is. Nazism doesn't even get close to how bad Islam is. It's not even a match. Like, it's not even, it's a completely different level. Whoever says like Islam is as bad as Nazism, completely disagree. Islam is so much worse. Okay, so Brett is saying trying to join. Okay, is it working? Let me know if it's working. Oh, Shauna was a Christian saying, we want you to be genuine. And yes, I have a thick skin. All of my family have different ideologies. Plus, I grew up in Seattle. Well, fantastic. See, I have the best Christians on Atheist Republic chat. Armin, the audio of the debater is louder than your audio. Well, I can fix that. This is A1. I'll just bring it lower by a little bit. Next time should be fine. Next time if somebody comes up, it should be fixed. Somebody saying Zionism is a Jewish nationalist movement that emerged in the 19th century to establish a state homeland for Jews in their ancestral land of Israel. Yes, Zionism started to create as a Jewish nationalist movement. However, Israel is now a nation state of both Jews and Arabs and other people. So Zionism, given that Zionism is now, Zionism was meant to give the right to self-determination to the Jews, but now because 20% of the citizens are not Jews, in effect, Zionism is working for all Israelis, not just the Jews. I know that Zionism started as a way to provide a nation state for the Jews, but now it's more than that. Yeah,
Like, and that's very
you cannot hear me? I was just speaking. I was just looking at the chat.
no, your mic on the pulse.
My mic is out? I can see my audio.
No, what? It's called all mouse school. So one, so in space I cannot create it.
What?
I think your mic is closed in the space. Just open your mouth.
But I see my mic is open.
Maybe that's an error of mine, but whether then maybe that's mine.
It's okay. It's okay. Your audio is really bad. Do you support the needless? Okay, so somebody's saying, what point do you support? Do you support the needless slaughter of Palestinian civilians? No, I don't. That's why I support Israel. The needless slaughter of the people in Gaza is happening because Hamas used them as bait. They well, not as bait, as a shield, as a way to. So this is what the Hamas's plan, according to themselves, is to attack Israel so that Israel has to respond. So that when Israel responds, civilians in Gaza die, so that more people around the world turn against Israel. So Hamas on purpose made it impossible for Israel to defend itself without hurting civilians. So when I support Israel, I support the nation state with a military eliminating the group of people who have come up with a plan to harm as many civilians in Gaza as possible. So Israel is not slaughtering Palestinian civilians. Israel is saving them. The best way to support the people of so-called Palestine is to support Israel. The best way to support the people of Gaza to save them from Hamas is to support the IDF, because the IDF is doing more for the people of Gaza than anyone in the world. Nobody has done more for the people of Gaza more than the IDF. So if you care about the people of Gaza, you need to support the IDF, because it's only the IDF and Israel that cares as much about those people. I mean, even if other people say they care, first of all, most of the people who say free Palestine, they're a curse upon the people of Gaza. They have blood on their hand. We have more death and suffering in Gaza because of the Palestinian movement. And Israel is the greatest force for them. Israel has, even people like me who say we care about people of Gaza, what have we done for the people of Gaza? The only entity that actually has done the most for the people of Gaza is the IDF. So if you care for people in Gaza, you need to celebrate the IDF and support Israel's actions in Gaza. Let me see what Shauna is saying here. Again, okay, so Shauna is saying, we want you to... Oh, yeah, I read that already. Let me go to this next one. We got another super chat. We got a Bible verse. Jesus said, for judgment I have come into this world, so that the blind will see and those who see will become blind. What the hell? Why does he want to blind the seeing people? John 9:39. Okay. I mean, it's interesting. We're reading Bible verses on an atheist channel now. Jesus is trying to blind the seeing people. I'm just kidding, by the way. Guys, protect your eyes from Jesus. If you see Jesus, just cover your eyes. He's gonna blind the people who see. If you're a blind person, if you see Jesus, well, you're not gonna see Jesus. If you're a blind person, if you hear Jesus, go to him because he's gonna make you see. But if you're a seeing person, if Jesus shows up, cover your eyes and run away. He's gonna take your sight away from you. Yeah, that's a dangerous guy. That's a dangerous guy.
Hello? Can you hear?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Yo, how you doing, Armin? So nice to talk to you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sketch therapy.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
Here, here, let me type. Hey, it's me, sketch. Wait, let me click on it. Hey, it's me, sketch. See, there, I typed in the chat. How you doing, man?
Fantastic. Oh, it is you.
I hope you're well. Have you heard good news from home?
Yes. Prince Reza Pahlavi, his team just went to Israel. His entire team is meeting with the highest officials in Israel, including the president. which is basically a huge recognition by Israel. Reza Pahlavi's team is being fully recognized by Israel's highest officials, and they're working with each other to come up with a plan for the transition phase after the Islamic Republic falls. So things are moving, things are progressing rapidly in that front.
You know what I want? I want to see him go talk to Trump, or at least have a meeting with Vance or Rubio. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah, but
I would like that's the movement I'd love to.
But do you think that would happen? Because not that many, there's a lot of politicians in Israel that are taking Reza Pahlavi very seriously, but not that many politicians in the US.
Okay, so there's very little I disagree on with you, but one of the things is I think there's a higher level of influence within what is the Israel politics from the United States that is commonly recognized. Like some people believe, oh, the Zionists and the Jewish people, they're controlling America. I see, no, 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 no. It's the other way around. That's our pit bull. And our pit bull is going to bite anybody that's messing with our cargo or our oil. And God bless them for that. It's like North Korea has, North Korea is that for China. Like North Korea is there kind of like, hey, I'm the crazy guy. And we have like the, hey, not so crazy, but don't fafo. You understand what I'm saying? So the route that I see is like maybe more support from the US. Like I understand that you have a great love for Israel, and I definitely have a great love and support for these people that keep our shipping lanes stable from these Houthi crazy people that are trying to keep the oil in the region stable. I appreciate that, but it is insane to me that these people think the Jews and the Israel controls America. No, no, it's the other way around. You have a high degree. You think when Israel does something in Syria, you think they're not getting support from our satellites? And I know you know this. I'm just speaking in general for the audience, whoever. You think they don't have support from our satellites, from our intel? You think any operation Israel does anything, they don't have American support and a green light? Now, I know that there's a politics game in which America says, hey, what you doing? But behind the scenes, we know what Israel is doing, and we're green lighting all of it.
Yeah, well, green lighting most of it, I would say. There are a few areas of disagreement sometimes, right?
Public disagreement. But you got to understand, I was infantry. I was in the U.S. infantry. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. Puerto Rico is like a territory of the U.S. We're all born federal citizens, right? So I served in the infantry. Now I know that you can say publicly there wasn't a political public coordination. But a lot of these, if anything that has to do with a plane leaving the ground, the U.S. knows about it and is probably lending support from satellites, from AWAC planes, from everything. This thing that Israel is acting all its own. Oh my God, Israel is going crazy. No, 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 that's us. And they're doing it in our interest.
Yeah, I mean, your major allies, and I think the relationship is actually beneficial. Israel is
absolutely.
Yeah.
We need those shipping lanes. You know how long it takes to go around? It's a long time.
It's more,
and stabilizing those pipelines.
Israel is fighting America's enemies. Israel, every time an IDF soldier shoots at something, it's not just Israel's enemies that are being shot at, it's America's enemies that are being shot at.
Well, they are destabilizing, and they have a colonialist faith, right? I would say it's more of a cult. I think we agree on Islam as being more of a cultish in practice than a faith. Because Christians, like I'm a Christian, you're not. I would prefer not to have the antagony, but a Christian isn't going to hate you because you're not a Christian. You can burn the Bible. We ain't going to care. It's going to be, hey, you bought it. As long as you're not burning someone else's Bible, we don't care. You understand what I'm saying? You can burn a cross. I mean, as long as you're not doing it in front of someone's porch, no one cares.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, no,
you know.
I agree. That's why I put aside my disagreements with Christianity, Judaism, and Hinduism. aside because I think there's a much greater evil that we're all fighting, and these are just
Yeah.
oh guys, is his audio low? Okay, I brought it back up. Okay.
Oh, should I speak louder?
No, oh my god, now it's very loud. Okay, so guys, is the audio okay now? Because people told me that his audio is audio okay now? I think it's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, the thing about that is that we have a separation of church and state. This started around the time of Dante Alighieri, continued in the Magna Carta, and its maximum expression is in the U.S. That's why when talking about Israel as a state, this is a state that's been recognized by a whole bunch of countries. Israel being a nation has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with its trade agreements with every other nation that recognizes it as a state. All the other states that do business with Israel don't do business with Israel because Israel is a religious thing. They do it because it's a recognized nation before all the international banks and all the international trade partners. I'm not saying I love international banks. I'm just saying if you have to recognize other nations as nations, you have to recognize Israel as a nation because it has all the same qualifiers and paperwork and all the same crap that defines a nation as a nation. And do you understand what I'm saying? Like saying, oh, it's not a state because it's a religious thing. So I'm going to use your belief or non belief against you. That has nothing to do with it. And from an atheist standpoint or a religious standpoint, it would still be a state. Like it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that America is a nation, but we recognize it as a nation, Christian, Jewish, whatever. We know it's a nation because of the paperwork. Same thing for Israel. So I just wanted to like posit that forward as like a clarification that no Christian is saying that Israel is not a state. This is like maybe some grapers, this national socialist that want to make believe that we have to choose between national socialism and globalist socialism. But it's the same thing. Give me your stuff and let me control who trades. You know what I'm saying? No free trade, no trade for Jews. I'm a national socialist and I'm gonna, do this Christian nationalist thing where I'm gonna use the Christian nationalism to pose this economic leftism and claim that I'm doing it for God, even though national socialist in the name of God is still socialism. You're still a leftist, Groiper, just like
Right.
the communist globalists that want rainbow communism. It's the same thing. You're still against individual power and you're still against free trade. How are you going to fix the Jewish thing? Are you going to ban them from trade, redistribute their property? That's still leftism, gripers.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. But on Israel, I think we agree mostly. So let's see.
Yeah, my only slight disagreement is on the amount of agreement that there is behind, excuse me, behind the scenes. Because we can publicly say, oh my God, why did Israel do that to Syria? But behind the scenes, me knowing how the military works, we did not only green light that operation, we backed it. There's
I
no
got that.
way
So
it happened without us.
okay, I got that point. Let's see if we could get some anti-Israelis here. Okay, let's see if we could actually get some.
Yes, it's a very slight disagreement, but it's all I had. And I want to send my love to you, to Susie,
Thank you.
to all your team, really, and just thank you for the opportunity to tag you. Bye bye.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You're always been a great supporter. Thank you so much. Let me see. This Brit guy is saying use the StreamYard link. Hey, Sketchy, was you followed the link that I put in the YouTube chat?
Yes.
And that works, right? So it works for you. Right.
I unmuted myself to clarify this. I touched the link. It took me to I had to do a little making sure that I was connecting the correct mic because when it asks you permission for which mic, you have to allow it. And then it has a little arrow that lets you choose a mic. And that's how you make your mic work. And I think you have to request to speak. I think those are the steps, but your link did work. I'm going to mute myself so you can carry on.
Okay, well, thank you so much for confirming that because this anti-Zionist guy in the chat, he seems like not he doesn't he's not able to figure out how the link works. saying, I'm an atheist, let me up Nazis. Well, it seems like you are too dumb to understand how the link works, because sketch therapy seems like Zionists are smarter than anti-Zionists, because sketch therapy managed to figure it out, but you don't. Yeah, I mean, you keep saying in the chat that Zionists are stupid, but the Zionists figured out how to make the link work, and you can't. So I don't know. It seems like you're the one who is suffering from, you know. Let me see if
Is it okay if I add another point, or should I mute again?
no, go ahead.
Just-
Go ahead.
Okay, my last point would be specifically on Christianity. I want you to understand that most of the people that back you are Christian. Being antagonistic when it's not part of the topic, I understand you have a different view. But if it's not on the topic, like, we're your fans, we love you. It's you don't have to believe what we believe, but there's no reason to, like,
Sure.
just saying. But if it's on the topic, and I'm as
Yeah.
much against Christian socialism like the Growers, so I understand why that separation of church and state is good. Like, on that point, you'll probably get backing from most Christians. I'm gonna mute again. I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, actually, something I should ask the Christians in the chat. Because I'm an atheist, I'm anti-religion, but I don't want to focus on, being anti-Christianity. I think Islam and Marxism and wokeism are the greater evil that are destroying the whole world. And do you guys think I should maybe not mention anything about Christianity, when it comes up? Because we need to keep us united on it's kind of like Game of Thrones. Like, Islam is the army of the undead, and I think us, atheists and Christians and Jews and Hindus, we're speaking about, we're fighting over the throne, and this army of undead is going to come take over the land. It's not, our disagreements might not matter. Do you guys agree? Maybe I shouldn't have, like, when that guy came out and said that oh, Jesus is the Lord, Jesus is the Lord. Maybe I should have, like, hold back on that. What do you guys think? What's the best strategy? No, yeah, because
May I say something?
yes, of course, that's the whole point of this.
Shalom to you, dear Armin, and all here. Yes, I mean, the people in Iran, they really detest Islam. They hate it, yes. And it's logical that they search for alternatives, when they leave Islam, or they become atheist or Zoroastrian or Christian. And, Zoroastrianism and Christianity, they are very very similar, yes, but the Islam is the antithesis to God, yes, because, for example, if you reverse, yes, the titles of Allah, yes, this idol in Saudi Arabia, if you reverse Al-Rahman Al-Rahim, you become Nam Horla, so the name is not free, and May Horla, mine is not free. Yes, and Nam and May Persian words, and that means Islam is the antithesis to Christianity and God.
Okay. I don't honestly. I'm anti-God myself, so I don't think that's a bad thing. But
Yes, and and for example, David, you see, David toilet, if you write out, you're reading or Allah.
no, that's enough. That's it for devils. I think that guy is a troll as well. Anyways, that guy was a troll. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, go on.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes.
Hello.
I have to disagree with your opinion that Nazism is worse than Islam.
I didn't say Nazism is worse than Islam. I said Islam is worse than Nazism.
Oh yeah, that way around. Yes. Sorry, I mixed. Well, I think Nazism is worse
Okay.
because
Go on.
it is much more extreme in intensities in killing people, and Islam has like rules and regulations, which of course it's bad that they can kill people, but it's still better than Nazism, because if a Nazi decides that you are a human that should be killed, there is nothing you can do. If you are a Jew or a Roma, then if you are born as such, you cannot do anything. In Islam, at least you can pretend that you are a Muslim or don't say anything wrong.
All right. You actually proved my point. You want to know why? But people in the chat are saying my mic. What's wrong with my mic? My mic is fine. Like if people in the chat tell me my audio is okay right now, I'm gonna ignore every single other time that somebody says your mic. You sound fine. Okay, so I'm not gonna respond to anybody that guy that keeps saying Armin. Well, actually, James, or Jack, you prove my point. You're saying that Nazism is more extreme. Islam has more rules and regulations and limitation on how it conducts violence, right? That's your point?
Yes.
Okay. Nazism being more extreme is the reason why it doesn't last long, right? Islam being more regulated and also being more limited in its violence is the reason why it survives. Also, Islam having a very thin sugar coating around its evil makes it more sellable. You know, like for example, Nazism is more purely evil, and that's why it does really bad in the PR department. That's why Nazism managed to become part of state power only for one generation, and then it collapsed. Right? It's in no state anymore because it's so purely evil that it doesn't have any staying, it doesn't have any PR, and it's so extreme that it doesn't have any. It's not very strategic. But Islam does a very good job at pretending that it's a force for good because it has, the Quran and Hadith. It comes with some verses that could be packaged as something beautiful for somebody who's uninformed. So it's doing a lot better in marketing, and that's why it lasts a lot longer. And because it lasts a lot longer, the total numbers of victims of it are much, much higher in aggregate. So Nazism manages to take out more victim per year in power than Islam, but the year in power of Nazism will be limited. Even though Islam takes less victims per year in power than Nazism, because it manages to stay in power for so much longer, the total number of victims will be a lot more significant. And also, even when Islam is being defeated, it's flexible enough to change face and put a mask on for another time to come back into power, right? When Nazism is exposed, it's almost for people who recognize it's evil, it will basically, that's over for them, right? For example, let me show you. Let me actually give you one more point. Nazism, for example, would have been a lot more dangerous if it had a few good points in it. You know, like if it had, like, for example, if we had videos of Hitler going out and giving food to children, to orphans, for example, even if he did all of the evil things he had done, like let's say, for example, Hitler had done everything the same as what happened in history, like the Holocaust, the war, everything else, right? However, in addition to that, we had some videos of him where he's giving food to orphans who actually need it. That would make Nazism so much more dangerous. I'm so glad that he didn't do anything. We don't have videos like that, right? So Islam has a lot of those, and that's why Islam is a lot more dangerous. But yeah, go on.
Well, I think that if you look at the historical context, I think that many of the deaths that were caused by Islam would have happened anyway, because the early caliphates and the Ottoman empires and the people that they killed, like there would still have been empires that killed people anyway, even without Islam. And I
That's
think
true.
that
That is definitely not true. Anybody who understands Islam and studies the history of Islam, the number of killings in Islam were way more significant because of the ideology, specifically because of the ideology.
okay, I haven't read about that.
I mean, the religion says that if you are not from Ahlul Kitab, you should die. I mean, there are mountains called Hindu Kush, which means killing Hindus, which are named that because of the number of Hindus that Muslim armies killed specifically because they were infidels. The numbers are
Yes,
really high.
yes,
Yeah, as their numbers are astronomically high. The numbers in total, in aggregate numbers, are higher than the number of people Nazis took, and it's also unreasonably higher than what other empires would do, except the Mongolian Empire, I would say.
yes,
You know. So, for example, when the Islamic army, when they went into uh, Abrahamic areas, they didn't do as much murdering as when they went to non-Abrahamic areas. Right? So that shows that their beliefs had a significant impact on the number of killings that they did.
well, yeah, that's a good point.
In general, bad ideas are dangerous, and the more sugarcoating they have, the more dangerous they become, right? And Islam has a lot of sugarcoating. Islam says, like, oh, take care of the orphans. Or Islam says, like, oh, give money to the poor. That's for take care of the weak. So that makes it a lot more dangerous because it gets to pretend that it's a force for good when it's a force for evil. So it's more difficult for the average person to recognize that Islam is a force of evil, but the average person immediately can recognize that Nazism is a force of evil. And because that lack of ability to recognize as a force of evil makes Islam more dangerous than Nazism. Okay.
Okay, so if we judge by the long-term deaths, is the
Yes.
correct way to assess which is worse rather than the intensity?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the total cost, right? If we're talking about the total cost, then we should measure the total damage. Brett come up like there's this anti-Zionist guy. I really want to talk to him, but he's so lazy or too stupid to understand how to Twitter. James, you managed to you clicked on the link in the YouTube chat, right? That's how you managed to come here, right?
Yes.
So, Brett, how is it that everybody figured this out, but you can't? He said, I'm trying. It won't let me up to speak. Well, it seems like you're not very intelligent. You kept on saying the Zionists are stupid. Zionists, this guy, like, there's so far, James is Zionist. He managed to figure it out. Sketch Therapist was a Zionist. He figured it out. You're an anti-Zionist. You can't figure it out. So it seems like it's the anti-Zionists who are stupid. Brett is saying you can't click the link in the vertical format from fact checking to expose the slide. Self-worth. No. You can't click the link in the vertical formats from phones. Oh, from Phone's Genius. Okay, so, well, Genius, James, did you click on the link on your phone? Let me see. I'm on my phone right now. I see the link pinned at the top. I'm clicking on it. I clicked on it. It took me to the Twitter space. I'm using my phone. The link is pinned to the top. I just clicked on it and it worked. You're saying I'm on a phone, not a computer, and I don't have an X account because X is trash. Well, you can make an X account in 10 seconds, and your being on your phone is irrelevant. Okay, see, now he's saying I don't have an X account. See, guys, look at this anti-Zionist guy. He's trying to make us look like we're idiots. He was first saying that, oh, because I'm on my phone, it doesn't work. Now that he figured out it does work, he's just saying I don't have an X account. Okay. Probably if you manage to come up here, you will probably come and just change your arguments mid-sentence when you realize that somebody has defeated you. I just proved to everybody that you're an idiot. Let me see. This guy is saying the Muslim army. Jack, any other point before I read some other comments in the chat? Somebody's saying his parents were twins. Brett is saying next time use StreamYard and I'll come up. Next time I might use Google Meet. Or I might continue using this because I want to see if I could get better. Right now, I'm not very good at Twitter Spaces. I think if I manage to get good at Twitter Spaces, because Twitter Spaces is now a whole new thing, and I want to keep experimenting with it. Right now, it's not that good, but I think if I keep at it and I figure out, like we have a good newsletter, I could maybe advertise my Twitter Spaces on our newsletter. And oh yeah, and maybe right now I could advertise it here on our YouTube channel. Guys, follow me, follow Armin Navabi on Twitter, and look forward to my Twitter Space. Oh, I know what to do. Next time I schedule a Twitter Space, I will post it on the posts on YouTube a few days ahead of time and let you guys know to go there and be ready to come up and speak. I think that's how I do it. That's how you do it. So that we could start it. Yeah. Is that a good idea, guys? So yeah, next time I will schedule a Twitter Space or an X Space, and we will promote it a couple of days in advance. Also, there are this is me just getting used to the Twitter Space area. It's really important because a lot of important people are using Twitter Space right now. So we want to have I'm just trying to familiarize myself so that we could get them to come talk to us with this tool. But I think we're going to be able to. Warren is also helping us to get some other people who are good at managing Twitter Space to join our future Twitter Spaces. So it's going to be busier in the future. Oh, you're backstage as a listener? Okay, well, raise your hand. Raise your hand. I'll bring you up. Oh, Brett is here. No, you need to, Brett, you need to raise your hand. If you raise your hand, I will make you speak. Immediately, it says it won't let me speak. Yeah, okay. Other listener. Only top 1K guests can be shown. There might be people listening anonymously. Are you listening anonymously? There's one person listening anonymously. Raise your hand. I'll bring you up. I don't see you raising your hand. This guy is like anti-Zionist. I do really want to talk to you because you're always here spreading nonsense in the chat. Oh, Warren left us. Carl, why do you don't like this? Why do you not like Twitter Space so much? You want us to... Why you're really upset that we're bringing people up using Twitter Space? Why are you so upset about this? You're saying you're anti-big tech. You're on YouTube right now. That's also big tech. Somebody's saying, Armin, the Twitter link is not opening from here. It worked. It worked for so many people. Okay, I'll see if you guys don't like it. I'll figure out a different way. Maybe in the future. How about Google Meet? You guys want next time? I'll use Google Meet. Are you guys happy with that? Would you guys be happy with that? Google Meet. Let me know in the live chat. Yeah, touche, exactly. Brett is saying it won't let me change from listener. Yeah, I told you, Brett. You're the one who has to I'm the one who has to turn you into a speaker. You have to raise your hand. I don't know how many times I have to explain that to you. Brett is saying, use StreamYard like a normal human being. LOL. Brett, let me tell you why I'm not using StreamYard. Okay, because we are turning these shows into long form horizontal videos, and when I use StreamYard, it records the videos separately when I'm recording them horizontally, and it doesn't merge them properly. Okay, that's why I'm not using StreamYard. Oh, accept my hand raise? Well, oh, there's no hand raise here. Oh, requested. Oh, there we go. There's 2 hand raise. Oh, okay. I think I got 2 people here. So here.
Hello.
Hello. Who's speaking?
Yeah, so I had a question. Do you think the citizens of Gaza will have equal rights if it's a one-state solution?
The yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, yeah, they have to. If that's what we're doing, let me actually schedule my next show. I'm hearing myself. Well, if we have a one-state solution, yes, they need to have equal rights. But again, that's not possible with the current level of extremism of people in Gaza. So that's not the solution right now. If we're going to have a
Yeah,
one-state
okay.
solution, if we're going to have a one-state
Suppose.
if we're going to have a one-state solution, we have to wait multiple generation of these people, maybe their grandchildren. We have to wait until the only way to make a one-state solution happen is to get, like, if the radicalism in Gaza and the West Bank is gone, that's the only time we could do a one-state solution.
Yeah, but do you think the Palestinians who were kicked out of their homes, do you think in a one-state solution they'd be able to fight back for their homes?
The ones who have left,
The ones who were kicked out of their houses.
the so-called Palestinians were not kicked out of their houses. They were not kicked
I
out of their
mean,
houses. Yeah.
there's plenty of proof on the internet to prove that wrong.
Well, I mean, okay, they were kicked out of their houses by Arab countries who attacked Israel. I guess they were.
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess you're right. They were kicked out of their houses, but not by Israel, by the Arab nations that decided to attack Israel.
Okay, so there are a lot of citizens in Gaza who did stay in the Israeli occupied land right now. So if it's a one-state solution, do you think they have the right to fight for their homes, their generational homes they should pass down?
No, generational home that has once an entire system changes, like under what legal code? First of all, if these new individuals who are born today, they don't have the ownership of the property that was lost previously by their parents, right? That's not how legal contracts work, especially when there is a regime.
Yeah, then that's the same point, that's the same argument. I can say that Israelis don't have a legal right to their land which they had 2000 years ago. Like
Yeah, this is not based.
they can't
No,
just
you're right. I'm not saying that I don't consider the legality of the ownership of Israelis over the land is based on anybody who argues anything based on 2,000 years ago. I do not agree with them. I care about the legal documents that we have in our hands right now. I think once you go down 3 generations, everything becomes irrelevant. 2 or 3 generations, I don't know exactly, but basically, when the legal documents were under a different system, they're not relevant anymore. So the reason why Israeli people have full rights over the property they own right now is because we have legal documents under this current system. The legal systems under the Ottoman Empire, the legal rights under the Ottoman Empire or under ancient Israel, both of them are irrelevant. We're looking at the current legal documents that we have on hand, and based on those legal documents, it belongs to the Israelis who own them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do somewhat support Israel, but I just, like, want to put on a few arguments that still are not okay with me. But I do agree with more, but I'm just playing devil's advocate right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
no, but
Yeah, no.
like for example, let me actually then explain this, right? So imagine that I own my house, right? And then you come show a document like I inherited my house from my father, right? And then you come and show that actually my great grandfather stole that house from your great grandfather, right? So should I give that now to you?
I mean, you can't really argue if it goes
By the
to
way,
those many
by the way,
generations.
but the Israelis never stole the land. Okay, so let me make that clear. But I'm just saying, even if they did, we are dealing with a whole
Yeah.
set of new people.
Okay. Okay. What do you? I've seen a lot of videos where behind the scenes there's a lot of brutality, where the idea of soldiers uh, killing off citizens who are running away from them, or at checkpoints, or even at like normal frisking.
Yeah. So what's your question?
Do you think? So? Do you think the brutality? Do you think there's brutality in what they're doing right now to the normal citizens?
Yeah,
Like, are
I'm
they
sure.
being unjust in killing any of the citizens?
You said this is where in Gaza? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, in Gaza, like what?
Yeah.
Where there's videos where in checkpoints,
Mhm.
citizens are just walking down away from the checkpoint, and the IDF soldiers are shooting them.
Show me the video. I haven't seen anything like that. Everything, but here's the thing: even without seeing it, I'm pretty sure some IDF soldiers have done some bad, evil things. And I condemn. If you show me an example, I mean, I don't, most of the videos when people say that an IDF soldier has committed a war crime, most of the times when I check it, it was not actually a war crime, and people like misrepresented what actually happened. But I'm sure that there are some examples of some IDF soldiers doing some evil things. I mean, it's an entire army. We're not claiming that every single one of them is a saint, right? So but the thing is that if an IDF soldier does an evil thing, I do condemn that specific IDF soldier. I do not condemn the entirety of Israel because that's not Israel's policy. I judge Israel based on the numbers that I have. And the numbers that I have show that Israel has done more than most armies in the world to try to reduce civilian casualty. Oh, I see some other people want to talk as well. So one more point that you haven't
Okay.
say it, and then I'll go to
Yeah, you can move on. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Those are some interesting points. I think Ronik has his or her hand up. Ronik, you want to say something?
Yes, good evening. First of all, I want to argue to the point that. Sorry?
No, sorry. I saw Brett is here as well, so I'm going to talk to him as well. But you go on, and then I'll go to.
Oh,
Go on.
I'm trying, but Bart is taking over me right now.
Wait, let me
You want
Brett,
to
can you
argue
mute your
something?
microphone because we.
Yes, I'm here. Think it
I
more.
can't- Yes, you're here. I can hear you. But can you mute your mic for a second? After Ronik, we'll go to you. Okay.
Oh, the echo. Yes. It wasn't
Okay,
him, it
go.
was the echo from him.
Thank
you. My point, first of all, is personally to you, Armin, I don't think you fully comprehend the essence of Zionism and what it is, but I would take it to a different space. You're arguing whether the Palestinian, quote unquote, biggest air quote, have the right to stay in the Israelis' land, and whether or not Gaza and Judah and Samaria is Israeli land. After 87, when Israel signed the peace agreement with Jordan, Israel got all of Judah and Samaria. It has been annexed by Israel. including Gaza after the peace treaty with Egypt. By all facts and measures, those territories are Israelis' land. Israel just didn't apply sovereignty of it and to the people. Now, regarding to the point of freeing Palestine, I would suggest to examine more carefully that statement, because Palestine was including Jordan, all of Jordan.
Wait,
Free.
can you get to the point and tell me what do you disagree with? I don't see what your disagreement is. Can you just tell me the main point?
That the Gazan are not going to stay there, nor the people in Judah and Samaria. They would respectively move to their own Islamic land, as Israel was given to the Jewish people.
Wait, I'm saying that the Muslims will leave Gaza? That's what you say? I said that?
No, I'm saying that. You said that some of them will stay over there.
Oh, you think like 2 million people are going to just abandon Gaza? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're going to be immigrated.
2 million people.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that would be bizarre and extreme.
At this point,
and
Israel
very
doesn't
risky.
recognize.
I mean, I never said that it won't happen. I just see it. I just hold on. Let me actually speak as well. It's really hard for me to imagine moving that many people out of a land. That's just seems like a. I mean, last
2
time
million is
when
not
was
a
it?
lot.
Let me just. Last time that happened was between I think India and Pakistan, and that was an absolute disaster. So many people died there. So I just don't see that happening. But I didn't say it won't happen 100%. Also, when you said I don't understand Zionism, I went to Israel and I talked to so many Israelis. And when I asked them what Zionism is, every 2 Jews I asked about what Zionism is, I got 5 different answers. Okay, so when people say like, "Oh, you don't understand what Zionism is," it's interesting because in Israel itself,
I said comprehend. I said comprehend.
Okay, well that's almost the same thing. But there are even in Israel, Zionists have different understanding of what Zionism really is. So comprehending it is basically depends on your perspective, like of what Zionism is.
Not necessarily.
What I noticed by talking to so many Zionists is that they all shared one thing. They had a lot of differences, but believing in Israel's right to be a country and defending itself seemed to be the shared element in all of them. So based on how definitions work, I think the shared element becomes the definition. So that's why I came up with the definition that I have. But yeah, go on.
I agree with you, but to comprehend the real essence of Zionism, you need to understand where it started, how it shaped, and to whom it's been assigned, which to all of the Jewish people, whether they are religious or not.
Yeah, but that doesn't negate my point.
No, it doesn't negate my point. I just said you not fully comprehend the Zionism essence.
I don't think anybody. Yeah, I think anybody could say that about anybody else who doesn't agree with the way they comprehend Zionism. I think somebody else listening to your understanding of Zionism will tell you that you don't fully comprehend Zionism because you don't agree with their view of it.
Again, we can argue about that. I thought it would be better for a different space. That's why I started with that personally to you. A friend to a friend.
Yeah, okay. It's just interesting because I have done more than most people to understand Zionism, and then you start the conversation by saying, "I don't."
You've done a lot. You've done a lot, but you have an habit of stating a lot of stuff that you think that they are fact, where in essence they are mostly subjective.
That's not true. That's not true. I always deal with a lot of skepticism, and I always look at people to correct me, and I'm always learning from my audience. So when I say something, I don't. I'm always open to change. I'm a skeptic.
I agree to all of that. I agree to all of that at this state right now as well. But you have an overconfident on statement sometimes. That's all I said.
Yeah, I mean that coming from somebody whose his opening line is that you don't comprehend something. So I think that's very overconfident as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Then
All right. Well, thank you for that. Let me actually. Brett is Brett, are you the anti-Zionist in the chat?
Hello, yep, hardcore anti-Zionist here.
Okay, fantastic. Tell me. Tell me.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can also hear myself.
Oh, thank goodness.
Do you have me playing somewhere else?
No, I have the other device all shut off and turned off. I was trying to make it so I could hear you through this one.
I don't know why I'm hearing myself then, but okay, go on.
Howdy, Armin. How are you?
Good. How about this? How about you a little bit without interrupting you, but when I'm speaking, you mute your mic so I don't hear myself, okay?
Sure. I'll try and stay on top of that.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
I do a ton of StreamYard. Like I run StreamYard myself on my own channel, and I never have these problems.
Okay. Well,
I'm not
doing
sure
two
why
things
you're
at the
getting
same time.
feedback.
All right, it's okay. Let me just hear your points.
I just wanted to maybe give some proper information and clear some things up about some of the historical inaccuracies that you were talking about earlier.
Okay.
First of all, Israel was a person in religious texts, never a place. Israel was a person. The land of Israel that is I'm an atheist, by the way, just so everybody knows. The land of Israel that is spoken about in religious texts implies or means the land that the person Israel looked over and watched over. There was never any official Israel place on a map in all of human history until 1948. Didn't exist. Never in all of human history. I've looked through maps, lots and hard, and you will never find a map made before 1948 that says Israel on it. Didn't exist. So this is a new thing in like the past 80 years, not some ancient place. The ancient referral was to the person Israel. That's number one important. There's a lot of speculation now about the reason for World War I, because there was some assassination of a Franz Ferdinand in Europe, and somehow it just ended up that Zionists convinced the British to go break up the Ottoman Empire, because let's be honest, you couldn't put their little Israel plan into the middle of the Ottoman Empire. So they had to break that up, and they convinced the British to go break up the Ottoman Empire, just like they're convincing the US today to go break up the land surrounding Iraq, all of these places in the Middle East or Western Asia, right? So that's something else that should be really pointed out, is that the Arabs had literally nothing to do with World War I, but yet the British decided to suck them into it and break up the Ottoman Empire at behest of the Zionists. All right. Another historical inaccuracy that needs to be cleared up is that Nazis and Zionists are documented partners in history. The 1933 Habar Agreement.
May we do one claim at a time?
Sure, if you want to respond to the World War I, I'll mute. Go ahead with that.
No, let's do the first one.
yes, I would like to counter the argument that Israel didn't exist. The land of Israel existed, ruled by Avimelech. So this is the kingdom of Israel in the past time. Before they shown.
Okay, Ronak, you go ahead.
Before it was split to Judah and Samaria, it was the kingdom of Judah, Israel, controlled by Avimelech. That was the Israeli kingdom.
I mean, first of all, why do we even care? why do I mean? I'm looking at some information. It seems like it was a name of a
Well,
place.
I
and a
care.
person.
I care about my history,
No,
and when
I'm
somebody brings
I know.
false information, I have to state against him. He brought
Okay,
false
hold on.
information and
Just-
inaccurate.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I'm not talking in the sense of history mattering or not. I'm talking in the sense of what does that got to do with whether or not Israel today gets to be a country and defend itself. That's like, to me as an atheist, that's irrelevant. You're let me
For you as an
hear
atheist,
myself
that's
when you're
supposed to actually mean the real history and why we
hold on,
actually got that piece of
I'm
land.
speaking, guys. Like, please let me speak, okay? Yeah, when it comes to getting history right, it matters, and I think Ronan is right, because it seems like I'm looking at this, and Israel is both a name of a person and a location. And it's been mentioned. Israel has been mentioned in ancient history as a land. It has been referred to the place has been referred to as Israel. Apparently, 1208 BC. So it seems like it was the name of a land. But to me, the discussion that we're having is the modern nation state of Israel, whether it has the right to exist and defend itself. I mean, United States doesn't have ancient history. Canada doesn't have ancient history. We don't go around and saying like, "Hey, United States was never an ancient 2,000 years ago. So why does it get to be a country now?" Canada was not a country like 1,000 years ago. So when it comes to defending Zionism, how is that relevant?
Sure, no problem. Would you like, I can do both. I can do both from a religious aspect and an academic aspect as to why there shouldn't be any Israel on any map today. So I'll start with the religious one and go to the academic one. Religiously, Judaism says that Jews are exiled and forbidden from gathering and forming a Jewish state. That's not me that says that. That's Judaism that says that. Jews are exiled. They await. Hold on, I'm going to explain it, and then you guys can talk about it.
But why are we having
Judaism says,
I'm an atheist. Why?
I told you I'm going to start with the religion aspect, and I'll go to the academic one. So the religion says, Judaism says, Jews are exiled. They await Yahweh, God, to come and collect them from exile, at which point Yahweh, God, will then provide the land that the person, Israel, watched over and walked on, which clearly hasn't happened. So that's the religious aspect. Judaism says Israel is forbidden. As Rabbi David Weiss would say, it's forbidden. Now, the academic aspect of it is that the Brits had literally no right to go break up the Ottoman Empire, occupy the land of Palestine, promise it to the Zionists, and give them the land of Palestine that the British never owned or controlled at the time of the Balfour Declaration in 1917. You can't just go steal land and then promise it to somebody else and give it to them. That was not legal even at that time. So academically, it's actually the Palestinians' lands who are the original indigenous inhabitants. And these white Zion-Nazis from Europe and North America, this is why Israel had the biggest case of skin cancer on planet Earth, is because they're not native from there. These are foreign invaders stealing the indigenous land. Again, as we saw in North America, Australia, and numerous times places, it's happening again. So when I say never again, it means for everybody. Now, academically, also, there should not be any, in quotes, Israel. Nobody gets an ethno-state.
Okay, first up, Britt, can you follow me on Twitter? Because I want to have more discussions with you. Follow me, okay? Can you follow me?
Dude, I don't do Twitter. Twitter sucks. I don't do X or Twitter. This is the first time I'm ever using it, and I'm not a fan already.
Okay, but do you want to have more conversations with me? Because I could have a lot more conversations with you about this, and I'm going to have them on X. So can you follow me?
Sure, I'll have these conversations, but not here. This is difficult and painful, and the audio is working. I do StreamYard all the time. For years, I've done StreamYard, never any issues or problems. I'm sorry you're having problems with this X Twitter space, but if you want more active engagement, we can't click the link. The people that are on phones, we can't click on your link in vertical. I don't know, maybe you have an iPhone, you can do it, but I'm an Android user and we can't click links in vertical. Everybody knows this.
I'm an Android user and I clicked on it and it worked. Anyway, let me actually respond to you. First of all, I mean, I don't give a crap. I mean, who's indigenous? First of all, half of the Jews in Israel came from the Middle East, so they're indigenous. If you care about those sort of things, but I don't. First of all, I'm looking at everything that you're saying, and it's like I could read out to you with sources why you're wrong. The Jews were not responsible for the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, and Israel was the name of a location, was the name of a land. There's a lot of historical documents that refers to a land, ancient historical documents that refers to that land as Israel. But let's say you're correct. Like, you're an atheist, I'm an atheist, and I don't care about who's native. I don't really care who's native. I care about the current people right now. I care about
It matters.
Okay, well, let me make my point. I care about what the situation is right now, who lives where, and how we could make the best situation for the highest number of people possible. Like, if my great grandfather was born here, that doesn't give me more right over this land than somebody else that just recently moved here. It doesn't really matter. So I'm a utilitarian. This seems like a utilitarian is somebody who tries to come up with a solution where most people are better off given the current situation. Even if these people were not, if they weren't indigenous, which they are, but even if they weren't, once you go past 2 generations, you just have to deal with who is where right now. I mean, if we wanted to go with who's indigenous, I mean, you have a Canadian flag. Okay, Canada. If we wanted to talk about who's indigenous, we should basically remove Canada as a country. Like, you're not indigenous based on your arguments. You sound like a white man in Canada. I don't know if you are or not, but you are European. You're not indigenous to the land that you're living in, so you need to get the hell out of there. Like, we need to get all the white people out of there.
No, hold on. I actually agree with you, because if you notice the Canadian flag that I wear, not the one I wear in chat, but the one I have on right now on the X space, it's actually an indigenous flag.
Oh,
I stand with indigenous people from Canada to Australia to Palestine. I stand with the indigenous people, and I agree. I don't like all these white Europeans sitting here crying about invaders and how, you have to adjust to the people that are already living on the land. Well, if that's the case, then all these white Europeans that are in North America right now crying about.
May I interject?
Wait, hold on. Brett, what happened to your mic?
So it's BS and hypocrisy.
Wait, Brett, so you are a white person or no? Are you European?
May I interject a short moment, please?
No, let me actually make my point. Hold on. Brett? Why am I not hearing Brett? Brett? Okay, so we need to basically get rid of Canada as a country, United States as a country, Australia as a country. And guess what? We need to get rid of 21 Arab countries. Brett, we're not hearing you if you're speaking. Is anyone else hearing Brett?
I don't hear him, but I mean, I just want to
No,
point
let
out
me finish, Ronik. I am making a point. I am having a conversation with Brett. Let me finish my points, okay? Not only we need to get rid of these Western countries, there are 22 Arab countries, and we need to get rid of 21 of them, because the Arabs are only indigenous to Saudi Arabia. The 21 of these countries are Arabs have moved out of the Hijaz, and they're living in places that they're not indigenous to. We need to basically shove them all into the desert of Arabia based on these line of reasoning. And also, Canada and United States will go fully bankrupt if we just got rid of everybody except the indigenous people of Canada. Like, I don't think the indigenous people of Canada, United States, and Australia would be very happy if everybody except them just left. I think their lives, they would have really miserable life. I think they would be begging everybody, like, okay, I don't know who made you think that this land only belongs to us. Like, nothing will work if you guys leave. We will die here with you guys. Like, everything will go bankrupt. Like, the entire supply chain will collapse. Like, I think if anybody non-indigenous to Canada, Europe, Australia, and all these other places decides to, like, hey, let's just go back to Europe, I think the indigenous people are going to be begging them. They will be on their knees begging them to stay. Like, what are you doing? Do you hate us? You're going to leave us in the middle of the like, what are you talking about? This is insanity. And yeah, it's interesting how so many people talk about, oh, the land belongs to the indigenous people there, and then the Islamic Empire, like they still support the Islamic Empire, which is like, oh, they're against all form of imperialism and colonialism except Islamic ones. I mean, they're like, the guy is saying the Jews were at plan to topple the Ottoman Empire, the empire. You know what an empire is? You said that the Jews were scheming to get the Westerners to make the Ottoman Empire collapse. And then, oh, and these are non-natives taking over native people's land. I mean, the Ottoman Empire, but by definition, was the colonial, like an imperial force. So how is it that you guys are so anti-imperial until it becomes Islamic? All of a sudden, that's the only the only brand of empire that you approve of. That's so hypocritical. By the way, I don't know why I'm not hearing Brett. But Rona, can you make your point quick? Because I need to wrap this up. And Brett, you can email me. We could figure out something else if you need to talk to.
Yes, very quickly. He said that we had no right to remove the Ottoman, but I wonder who gave the Ottoman the rights to remove the Mamluks, and who gave Mamluks the rights to remove the Byzantine, and so on, till we get to the Jews.
Yeah, I mean, the Jews did not remove the Ottoman. The Ottoman Empire collapsed from long-term decline. It didn't need the help of the Jews.
No, you did. I think you didn't understand what I was saying.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not responding to you, Ronik. I'm responding to Brett's point, right? I'm not saying that you said that, right? So key causes of the Ottoman Empire collapsing, which has nothing to do with the Jews. So administrative decay, economic problems, rising nationalist uprisings, right? So I think like the Autotork would very much disagree with and his fans would very much disagree with this guy giving all the credit to the Jews. The Balkan Wars and the decisive defeat after joining the Central Powers in World War One. Yeah, I mean, they joined the Central Powers. They're like, oh, the Westerners were attacking them. I mean, they joined the enemy of those countries. After World War One, the victors, Britain and France, imposed mandates, and yeah, we all know that Zionism back then was a very small political movement in the 19th and early 20th century. So yeah, they weren't as influential. Zionism was back then really irrelevant. Zionism only became relevant in response to the atrocities in World War II. So for people to think like, oh, Zionists did this and that, Zionism couldn't even influence Jews back then. Zionists couldn't even get the support of Jews until World War II happened, and they were like, oh, these guys were right. I mean,
I'm sorry, you're very wrong, Armin.
No, that's true. The religious Jews, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but religious Jews were the first enemies of Zionists because the first people who pushed back. And
the religious Jews were touring the world from Spain in order to see if the land of Israel is actually flourished for them to return.
But there were also a lot of religious
18th to 16th centuries. And the Zionism movement, so-called, started with the religious people that the return
No.
to Jerusalem to rebuild it.
No,
This
no,
institutional Zionism.
no. I know about the Zionism was a secular movement. It has nothing to do with religious movement. And religious Jews were arguing that we can't make Israel a country until the Messiah returns. And many other secular Jews were also against Zionism. I know this because they were
So
arguing.
Zion is a circular
Okay,
slip.
Bronek,
That-
you keep interrupting me. Okay. And you said, okay, so let me make my point. And also, I know this because I talked to experts about this actually. There were a lot of Jews that were also arguing that Zionism is dangerous for the Jews because it makes Jews need to assimilate in the countries that they're in, and they need to become like the countries that they're in. And Zionism is going to make them
Jewish people live all over the world. That's again, Armin, you're just probably.
This is I cannot do this anymore with you, right? I cannot do this anymore. You do not. Well, no. Seriously. All right. So I actually talked to some experts about this. They said that at that time, one of the main concern of the Jews back then, the Zionists were arguing that something really evil is about to happen. Something really bad is going to happen, and World War II proved them right. But many Jews in the West were arguing that Zionism is going to make the people in the West see them as different, as second-class citizens, as people who are not loyal to United States or Europe, to the countries that they're in, and they want to have their own country separate from us. But we need to be focusing on becoming the same with the rest of society. And Zionism is basically a movement that will go in the opposite of that direction, right? However, Zionists were proven right about all their predictions when World War II, when the Holocaust happened. And then after the World War II, they got a lot more support. Their support for Zionism increased dramatically after World War II. All right, let me actually read the super chats, guys. I need to go get ready for my next show. Let me reschedule that a little bit because I'm not ready for that. Delay that by another 10 minutes. All right, so let me just read the super chats. Yeah, let me. Yusuf. And Yusuf saying all religions have cult-like aspects. Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with that, but cult and religions are different. Islam is not a cult, and other religions are not cults because you have to actually be small to be a cult. So yeah, I mean, cults and religions have shared similarities, but religions are a lot more mainstream and much bigger. So I mean, a lot of people use the word cult as just an insult. But for me, cult is not just an insult. Cult has a specific definition, and if you're too big, then you're not a cult anymore, I think. Sean is saying maybe just insult Christians, Hindus, and Jews equally. I mean, I don't insult Christians. I may be anti-Christianity, but I don't insult. I mean, I love the Christians on Atheist Republic. And then we have Carl saying, where is this? Carl saying, watering down your brand will damage your credibility. Oh, you mean like me if I don't attack Christianity? Well, I mean, if my brand is to focus on the most harmful ideologies, and right now the most harmful ideologies are Islam, wokeism, and Marxism. That's our brand. So why would that be a watering down of our brand? And then, I don't know how to pronounce. Somebody saying thanks, Putin. Wait, hold on. What does this say? I don't even understand. I don't even underline stepping up to play. Thanks, Putin. I don't. Oh, thanks for putting your body on the line and stepping up to the plate. Okay, that was really hard to read, but thank you, thank you. I don't even know if I understood it. Do you guys understood it? Do you guys think Islam is a cult? A cult is supposed to be small. I mean, guys, I think like you guys think that if I say it's not a cult, I'm defending it. I'm not defending it. I'm anti-Islam. If I say it's not a cult, it's not because I'm saying it's good. If I'm saying it's not a cult, it's because it's just big. And then we have another super chat here. Oh wait. Let me see. Oh, by the way, Brett in the chat is saying attack me harder. And then he's going bwahahaha. Guys, Brett, where like attack me harder? Where are your hands at? Ew. Are you touching yourself? Brett, are you touching yourself? Do you come here and say insane stuff because you get off of people attacking you? I think he's on purpose saying the most insane shit because that's his kink. Attack me harder. You should maybe put daddy after it. Say, attack me harder, daddy. Have I been a naughty boy? Brett put that in the chat. Have I been a naughty boy? Have I been a naughty anti-Israeli? Attack me harder. Okay. That was weird. And then we have Ginga saying Nazis try to. By the way, guys, the reason why I say Nazi sometimes is because in Persian it says the Nazi is Nazi. So Nazis try to hide their atrocities. Islam is proud of it. Well, Islam actually does a better job at hiding the evil that is hidden within Islam sometimes. Ideologically, at least. And then we have another super chat from Ginga saying, is Brits support Europe for Europeans only? Yeah, Brett doesn't understand that this is the horseshoe theory in action. Because he's like, oh, it should belong to the natives, right? I wonder if Brett would agree that, oh, that's a good point, Ginga. And next, Brett, what would you say to people who say that Muslim Middle Eastern people should be kicked out of Europe then? I wonder if these people who argue for natives, would they make these arguments for Brett, answer us in the chat. Would you say that Europe belongs to natives of Europe? Like, do you believe it, like, kick the Muslims out of Europe? Would you agree with that? Or do you only support natives when it's in non-European countries? I bet you he only argues for natives in non-European countries. When it gets to Europe, he wouldn't come and say, like, would you say keep Europe white? Like, would you say that? Brett is saying, funny how all you can do is attack me while I'm hidden backstage. Hidden backstage? I invited you to have more discussion with me. I delayed my next show 3 times right now because I wanted to talk to you. Like, he said, don't want people to hear my very valid points. Your very valid points. First of all, everything you said is bullshit. I have documents here that shows that. Second of all, your mic was not working. People could see it. You were a speaker and your mic was not working. Third of all, I delayed the show 3 times so you could speak, and then I invited you to speak again with me. Why is it that every time we don't extend the show for another 3 hours, we're like, oh, you must be very afraid. You must be so scared because you don't want to talk to me. Like, do you even hear? Like, guys, we're so lucky that anti-Zionists are just stupid. I mean, everybody saw that I was hoping that you come up and speak. Oh, look at this. Documents from who? Zionists? Guys, this is the type of guy that if I show him any historical evidence that he's wrong, he will just say like, oh, that's a Zionist document. It's Jewish. It's a Jew doc. It's a Jew doc, so it's not valid. That's the kind of person we're dealing here with. If your evidence suggests anything against my points, I will call it a Jew doc and dismiss it immediately. It's juice. Sketch therapy, you wanted to say one last thing? Okay, say one last thing. Why did you guys how did you all turn into listeners when you were speaking? Let me see. Okay, guys, we have a lot of people who want to speak, so this is working. Carl, see, this is working. Oh, here. So say your last point, but keep it short, please, because I need to go to my next show. By the way, before you say something, my next show is on my personal channel, Armin Navabi. It's not about religion or politics. It's about using AI to make our lives better. My next show is going to be about using AI for health reasons to improve on health. I'm going to start that in about 10 minutes on my personal channel. So don't come there if you want to speak politics, all right? So Armin Navabi is my personal channel. If you search for it on YouTube, it will show up. Anyways, go on. Sketch therapy. I made you a speaker. Okay, you're not speaking. Okay, Warren, you wanted to say something? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can go on.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity for doing this. I wanted to give you a suggestion just to keep things a little bit more on point. I sent you an image. It's a pyramid that shows like the central arguments ad hominem call like that. And you can use that as a guide when these people are arguing with you, because they like to jump from central point to central point so that they don't have to engage with what you're saying. And it's an image, it's nothing dirty. It's just like a pyramid of argumentation. It may help focus some people. And as far as this war stuff, who cares what had it before? We won it in World War One. We give it to who we want. Anything before that, who cares? We won. Live with it. That's my kind of point on that. Yeah, we won World War II, so we want to split everything again. We split it again. So what? You wanna decide what goes to who? You win the next war. That's my point on that. But I don't want to push too much on that. And I think this guy was being pretty disingenuous, running away from your point, trying to badger you into and I didn't like his demeanor towards you. So I sent you a little image so that you can use it to keep these people on a central point and say, hey, you're using a disingenuous form of argumentation and that kind of thing. That's all. And thank you very much again for the opportunity. I'm going to mute myself and let you say goodbye to everyone. And thank you very much.
So first of all, I apologize. First of all, Armin, I apologize. And I just want to say my phone died when I was in this space as a co-host, but I just want to shout out to Aiden, the great guy. You're the great guy, Armin. And I think we both guys are connected. So, on actually the Friday, we have a great space with Zeke Arsom. And there are many big accounts are going here. I hope that we have also Aiden there. And
Yeah.
it'd be
If
great.
it's before Shabbat, if it's before Shabbat, I can show up.
Yeah, I know it's Shabbat. Yeah. But if you like, you can also listen. But it's like 1 hour interview with Zeke, and then after 1 hour, open mic space for the big accounts who are coming in. So because the spaces are very limited, it's only like big accounts, and then they come up and they are opening their mics after an hour with Zeke. But yeah, that's just an announcement, and everyone can enjoy that great space. You can also watch it on YouTube on Friday, and that's a great one. And maybe a super space that we are going to have. So yeah, I just want to announce it, Armin. Thank you for giving me the opportunity because it's very important, and it's about the woke right. And yeah, so thank you, Armin. Also, I apologize for being late, and I wish you a good show on your personal channel.
Well, thank you. And also, Sergio P just gave us a super chat saying, thank you for hearing me out. Best regards to the team. Well, thank you so much. Guys, and I know this whole going on X Spaces is a new thing for you guys, and it seems a little bit complicated, but trust me, if we keep doing this, we will be able to when we started when we just get started, because we're not very well known in the X space area. At first, it's going to be a little bit messy, but this whole environment, there's a lot of very interesting conversations that are happening on X spaces, and in the future streams, we're going to have some really interesting characters show up. And Warren is helping us a lot to bring up, people on our side, and Aiden here, and people against us. So we're going to have some really fascinating discussions on spaces. So just let's see where this goes. We're going to have our regular types of shows as well that will not be connected to spaces. Just if you guys just don't like X spaces on YouTube, just give it a chance. We're going to work on it, and we're going to make it very interesting. Okay. And we're going to have a lot of interesting shows, and we're going to have some really interesting people come up as well. Oh yeah. And Carl saying, it worked out in the end. Yeah. I told you it's going to take a while until we get it figured out, but we will figure it out. And eventually, Carl, the reason why I like spaces, if we keep doing this, is that at some point, even if people don't click on the link here, on X, it will just pull in its own people to our spaces by itself. That's why. So we don't have to just rely on people here clicking on the link. It will be some organic pull on X spaces as well. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, and don't forget to like the stream.
Yeah, don't forget to follow Alfred. He's also great. Follow Armin if you don't. But yeah, everyone just follow these guys, and also follow Aiden. These three guys are awesome, and I just want to tell you that I have a great night, everyone. Or whenever you
Well, copy what there is some more debate you cannot is done. I'm looking for debate for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, Aiden, I will let you debate some anti-Zionists here as well when we bring them up here. But I also want to apologize to the people who requested and we didn't bring them up, because I have another show that I need to get into. Just follow me, and I will do more shows in the future. Okay. All right, guys. Don't forget to like the stream on YouTube and subscribe if you're new here, and hit the bell notification. And I'm Israel Chai. Javicha. See you guys.
Amen. Have a good evening.
Good evening.